Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5.
New information tonight on a cluster of coronavirus cases in an Albany food plant. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Mazer. 8 employees at the National Frozen Food Corporation and 2 family members tested positive for coronavirus. The plant shut down Thursday night and will remain closed throughout the weekend to deep clean factory lines as well as the general workspace. Counsel for the plant says they continue to follow guidelines from health officials like social distancing and using PPE while working. Meanwhile, those employees who tested positive have been on paid sick leave since revealing their symptoms 7 to 10 days ago. They could return Monday if cleared by health officials. The factory employs more than 300 people as the plant processes 1 million pounds of frozen food each day for national companies. Coming up at 5:30, we learn more about their timeline to reopen. Here in Lane County, health officials reported a second suspected coronavirus death. Health officials say the patient, a 59-year-old man from the Eugene-Springfield area, had pre-existing medical conditions. He was being treated in the hospital at the time of his death. Lane County Public Health spokesperson Jason Davis says the man died late last night, suffering from multiple organ failure believed to be related to coronavirus.
Obviously, our thoughts go out to his loved ones. This is an incredibly difficult time, and this is exactly what we're working to prevent.
The number of cases in the county remain at 50, with no new cases reported today. Public Health says 22 people recovered. There are currently no hospitalized coronavirus patients in Lane County. Public Health has received results for more than 2,600 tests. Meanwhile, on the coast, the Oregon Department of Corrections and Public Health officials confirmed there are 8 inmates now who tested positive for the coronavirus at the Shutter Creek Correctional Institution in Hauser. According to Coos Health and Wellness, all 8 inmates were in the same barrack.
All 8 positives still have been transferred up to the facility where they are handling the 24/7 medical care of positively confirmed cases.
There are 4 barracks at Shutter Creek. 2 of them house a maximum of 95 inmates. The other 2 hold as many as 45. According to the Department of Corrections, modifications were made to allow for social distancing. So far, 13 adults in custody were tested for coronavirus, with 5 cases still pending. About 20 staff members were tested, most confirmed negative, with 9 results pending. Here's a look at the latest numbers in Oregon. There are 2,181 cases and 87 deaths. About 2/3 of the cases are in the north along Washington, Multnomah, and Marion counties. In our region, Benton County stands at 27 cases, including 5 deaths. Linn County has 67 cases and 7 deaths. Again, here in Lane County, we remain at 50 cases with 2 suspected deaths now. Deschutes County has 70 cases. Douglas County went down 1 case to 23 cases total. This after the Oregon Health Authority says 1 case originally reported as being in Douglas County was later determined not to be a case. More cases reported at the Shutter Creek Correctional Institution have brought the number of cases in Coos County to 8 right now. Well, reports of child abuse in Oregon are significantly low, while calls to domestic violence hotlines are increasing. Lane County DA Patty Perlow calls this very concerning and is asking the public to help. NBC 16's Kelsey Christensen has more on these trends.
Calls for help are surging. Brandy Yanez with Women's Space says domestic violence calls have nearly doubled since the stay-at-home order.
And as people are stuck at home with their abusers, they are extremely isolated, and it's essentially like being a prisoner in your own house.
She can't say which types of calls are increasing, but says the nonprofit is ramping up resources for those in need. A new chat feature is on their website, erasing history that it was ever used to protect the victim. They're also continuing to provide and find shelter.
A lot of folks really are looking for a safe place to be, especially when this is over.
Lane County DA Patty Perlow calls this concerning because despite a spike in domestic violence calls, reports to law enforcement are steady.
I don't know the reason for it. I just think the public needs to be aware of the circumstances and to keep an eye out for vulnerable people in our community.
Perlow says it's not just adult violence, but kids.
Of equal or greater concern is the kids aren't in school now, and so child abuse is not stopping while kids are at home and out of school, and it's not getting reported. The numbers are way down on child abuse reporting.
Oregon DHS says reports to the child abuse hotline are down about 70%. That means children and those getting abused need your help. Don't let social distancing become isolation. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Kelsey Christensen.
Again, if you see something, say something. If you suspect someone is being abused, report it. You can call the Women's Space Crisis Hotline or online chat for help. Visit our website at NBC16.com for a list of resources. The UO announced it's holding an online commencement on June 20th for the class of 2020. The university is preparing a celebration box to mail to eligible students who register. The online commencement will be followed by the release of pre-recorded recognition of graduates in each school and college. Students will have an opportunity to add a photo, message, and short video. An in-person commencement celebration will take place June 2021, where both the class of 2020 and 21 will join efforts for the largest graduation on record. For more information, you can check out the UO commencement website. Well, teachers are taking it one day at a time in the Springfield School District with the distance learning switchover. It started on April 13th in response to the coronavirus pandemic and social distance requirements. Teachers took the rest of the school year and transformed learning to online classes almost overnight. We spoke with one teacher who says the students are getting the hang of it, sometimes even more than the teachers themselves.
I think what to me is so kind of outstanding, or the highlight of this, is how much our kids are showing that they're adaptable. I think it was almost maybe harder on us as teachers figuring out what's the best way to check attendance or the best way to support students that are needing more help.
Teachers say the new virtual learning method is all about communication. If you're a student or parent with questions, be sure to always speak up and ask. Well, moving on to a first look at weather. NBC 16's Heather Melendez joins us now. Hey, Heather.
Hey, happy Friday. It's a little muggy outside, but we are seeing some beneficial showers just moving on in this morning. And right now we're kind of calming down, just seeing plenty of cloud coverage, but all that cloud coverage is allowing us to see those muggy conditions. We saw at least 60 degrees out in Eugene and really all across western Oregon. For tonight, though, that cloud coverage will allow us to see a warmer night. Really, everyone along the I-5 corridor is seeing some 50-degree weather for tonight, even those out in the coast. But right now, we're just seeing those clouds moving on eastward, giving those warmer nights, pushing all that moisture out. Today, we did manage to at least see almost half an inch out in North Bend, and that's at least picking up 3/10 of an inch in Lane County. But as we start to head into tomorrow, we'll have an even bigger system moving on in. I'll let you know how much rainfall to expect and what to expect for your weekend in my full weather forecast.
All right, sounds good, Heather. Thank you. Well, search and rescue crews located a missing hiker this morning near Ann Lake off the Marion Lake trailhead. Linn County Sheriff's Office says the person is safe and in good condition. The search and rescue team that found the hiker had a doctor and nurse joining them in the search and were immediately able to assess his condition. Nearly 60 searchers, along with track and trail dog teams from search and rescue teams from Linn, Benton, Lane, Marion, and Deschutes counties pitched in. Well, a $3.5 million project is underway for new protected bike lanes in Eugene. The 13th Avenue Bikeway will run from Lincoln Street east to Alder. Transportation planners say this is going to be the first two-way protected bikeway in downtown Eugene. Those dual bike lanes will be set up on the north side of 13th with a concrete barrier separating bike lanes from traffic lanes.
The big difference is that bikes will be able to move in both directions on 13th Avenue, eastbound and westbound, and they'll have their own signals at the signalized intersections.
Dunbar says bikes and cars will be on different signals to help reduce conflicts and accidents in the corridor. A study by University of Oregon students in 2013 on bicycle and vehicle dangers along 13th was the push for the project. Coming up at 5:30, NBC 16's Tom Adams will join us live in the studio with more on when the project is set to be completed. Oregonians can continue to pump their own gas until May 9th. The Office of the State Fire Marshal extended the temporary rule, allowing gas stations to provide self-service on a voluntary basis for another 2 weeks. It's an effort to make sure social distancing measures are being followed. Attendants will continue to sanitize fuel nozzles and assist customers if needed. Again, self-service is not mandatory. Well, when we're not on the air, you can still read all our local stories. Make sure to sign up for our newsletter to get the latest updates on local stories in your inbox. To sign up, visit NBC16.com/sign-up. Type in your email and click sign up.